So you can now connect Ask Steve to a local model completely for free. And so when you first install Ask Steve, you're on our quick start plan, which means all your requests are proxied through one of our servers to a public LLM, and you get 100 of those requests. And then we ask you to put in your own API key for either Google Gemini or Mistral, or as an alternative, you can connect to a local model, which means you're running a model on your own computer. And in that case, you're paying nothing. It's totally free and it's completely private and secure because it all lives on your own machine. So what I currently have in the background running right now is local models from 3 different providers, Ollama, LM Studio, and Jan, and we're going to see how we can set those up and configure them. So the first thing I'll need to do, if I go to the models page, you can see it's going to ask me to log in. So I'm going to log in, and I'm going to do it with my Google account, but you can also create an account. And then there are 2 plans. There's kind of our standard free plan and the premium plan. It doesn't really matter which plan you're on, except that when you go to this models page now, you can add models. And if you are on the free plan, the standard plan, you can add local models, which is anything starting with localhost or 127.0.0.1. And if you're on the premium plan, you can add any model anywhere. So we're going to add a local non-streaming model. And in this case, we want a local streaming, sorry. We want a local streaming model. And so in this case, it's automatically using the default port of 1234, which is what LM Studio uses. Let's flip over to LM Studio, and we can see on the server tab here that our server is running, and it's reachable on port 1234. And the model that we're running here is DeepSeek R1. So I'm going to copy the name of that. We're going to flip back over here to the configuration. We can leave the port the same, and we're going to change the model. These are all OpenAI compatible interfaces. So the nice thing is we can leave like pretty much everything else the same. So I'm going to hit save new model, and then I'm going to hit test. And now we can see that in the test that it's connected and it's working. And DeepSeek R1 is thinking very deeply about how to answer the question, Steve was the best AI intern that I ever had because. So it's going to think here for a while and answer that. And there we go. There's our final answer. So we can see that it all worked, and we can see the raw data coming back from that local server. Now let's change the name of this. We'll call it LM Studio DeepSeek R1 so that we know what it is. And now let's try connecting to 2 other services just to see how it works. So I'm going to say add a new model. Once again, I'm going to go local streaming. And now I'm going to use port 11434, which is what Ollama uses. And then for Ollama, let's see what model I'm running. I'm running Qwen 2.5 latest. So let's go change the model name here. And let's change the name of this so we know, Ollama. Now with Ollama, you do need to do a little bit of configuration at startup time in order to make a Chrome extension able to talk to it. But here we're going to hit test again, and we're going to see, can we connect to that LLM running in Ollama? And yes, we were able to connect, and it looks like it's working. Okay, so the final one that we want to add then is let's connect with Jan. And that's another like nice UI for creating these things. So we're going to go local streaming, okay. And then we're going to say Jan, and let's see what model we're running on Jan. Here we are running this one, Llama 3.2 3B instruct. So let's copy that. And if we go take a look at the server thing here, we've started the server and we're running on port 1337. So let's go back now here. And we're going to say we're running that model. We're on port 1337. We're going to change the model name here. And then we're going to hit save and test. And now we're connecting to Jan. So you can see how easy it is to connect to any local model running on your own machine. And now you have that available in Ask Steve to do your work. Now, what you should be aware of is like Ask Steve is often pulling the content of entire web pages. And so just make sure the context window that you're setting on all those models is big enough to handle that. So let's just try some simple tests right now. So right now, if I go up here and look, the default model that Steve is going to be using is this Jan Llama 3.2 model. So I'm going to go to this page right here, and I'm going to make a new tool. These are some of the existing tools that come out of the box, but I'm going to make a new one just for test purposes. It's going to be called Make Hashtags, and I'm going to ask it to give me 5 creative hashtags for this text. And in double brackets, this indicates whatever's selected on the page or the entire page if nothing is selected. So now I've got my new button there, and if I press it, it's using that Jan model, and it gave me back 5 hashtags. Now what I can do is, under premium features, this used to be a premium feature, but it's now free, is you can pick a specific model that you want to use, and say, like I can say I want to use DeepSeek now for this. And then if I run it, okay, we can see that it's actually using DeepSeek now, the thinking model. And every time I run this task, it will only use that model, not the default one. It's doing a lot of thinking to come up with these hashtags. And there we go. Okay, so it came up with these hashtags, or we can try the Quen model and see how that works as well. So you can see how to do this if you look at the documentation on our website. If we just go to asksteve.to, go to documentation, and on the left under settings, look to connect to a local model. You can see there'll be this video there, along with documentation on how to connect to various providers like LM Studio, Jan, GPT for All, and Ollama. So if you have any questions, let us know in our user community. Thanks.